Good evening, Rockdale County. Glad to have you here today. Um, Beautiful Sunday day today. Beautiful day out there in the neighborhood. Let's start off by saying hello to some of our friends who have joined us today. It's always great to have our friends. We see Mary Boysworth in the room, Justin Kenny, Clayton Orrig, Michelle McGee, Dan Burks, Cheryl Garcia, William Campbell. Let me see if I can scroll up and see other folks who had uh, joined the chat today also. Danielle Nunez. Hey, Danny, nice to have you on the feed tonight. So I think that's everybody that has said something. If you want to be acknowledged, go ahead and say something in the chat so we know you're there, so we can acknowledge you. First of all, I want to say thanks to everybody for joining us tonight. As usual, we'll try to put some meat in this thing. But the first thing I want to talk about, and you guys know the first thing I want to talk about is the Social Circle 6U Redskins. Now, guys, we had a tough week this week. I'm not going to just get what's was. We went into this week 5-1, and we played the number one and two ranked teams in our league, and we came up short both games. But I'll tell you, the team finished great in the fourth quarter Saturday. We held the ball the whole quarter. We drove, we scored, and then we stopped the Orange Hurricanes with less than a minute left. We kept them you know out. So I mean, we finished on a positive note going into the playoffs. So the Social Circle Redskins go into the playoffs this coming Tuesday. We're going to practice on Monday, make some adjustments, and we're gonna be ready for the playoffs on Tuesday, and we're gonna see what happens to us. And I'm excited. I'm excited for these young boys as they learn this game, and it's very exciting to watch these young guys do that. And Charlotte, you're right. How about those Braves? Shout out to the Atlanta Braves for clinching the NLC and making it to the World Series. And despite uh, you know not having the All Star game in Atlanta, what better to have in Atlanta than the World Series coming to Atlanta, Georgia? So congratulations to the Braves, and way to go to bring that World Series championship games to Atlanta for the Atlanta fans and everyone in the metro area and the state of Georgia to enjoy and root on the Braves as the Braves go into this World Series challenge. So just congratulations to the Braves, guys. I just want to thank everybody that's associated with the Social Circle Redskins for everything they've done this year. And I thank you for indulging me, the audience, for bragging about these young men and letting me just report on their progress, because these young men have done fantastic. They've really shown growth, and I just can't wait till this coming week till we get in those playoffs and see what happens. But what I do want to bring next, guys, is we're going to talk about a little bit of local stuff for Rockdale, because what good is a show this week from Rockdale if we don't talk about Rockdale? Not much. So let's get to it. First thing we want to talk about is early voting. The city of Conyers is having their municipal elections, and we're electing some council members. The mayor is running unopposed, but if you feel like you want to go out and cast that vote for Mayor Evans, he's already voted for himself, I'm sure. So he's already clinched that victory with that one vote. But we have these contested council seats. These are very important seats. So I encourage you guys to get out there and vote for your candidate of choice. And as the chairman of the Republican Party, um, next Friday I will be putting out an email as to what candidate I want. I will encourage conservatives to vote for on election day. I've been thinking about this long and hard, and next Friday I will send a letter out to Republicans who live in the county that can vote in the city municipal elections, and urging them to support certain candidates. So just look forward to that. That will be happening next Friday as I send that out for election day. But these are very important elections. Municipal elections are very important, and guys, we've had very few people vote in this early voting turnout. We've had 2 weekends and whatever, and like it's just dismal voting. So we need to get out there and vote and support these candidates. And I'll tell you, uh, it's very interesting because we talk about wanting all these early voting days and all this, and if we don't have 200 people show up in this whole early voting, was there really any need for 15, 16, 17 days of early voting when you had 200 people and all the expenditure that we put out for that? Maybe early voting only needs to happen. Charlotte's less than 100 people for 9,000. Maybe early voting only needs to occur for you know the general elections. Maybe we don't need to have early voting for all this, especially if people aren't going to do it. Maybe early voting doesn't work for municipal elections, especially, we've got 9,000 eligible voters and we've got 100 people to vote. Was the cost worth the effort? Don't think so. Not in my opinion. All that cost was not worth the effort to get 100 votes out in these last 2 weeks. So, we may need to consider for municipal races having 1 week of early voting. Think, and that's not suppressing or limiting anybody's ability to vote, because as we can see, people don't take advantage of that opportunity to early vote. And I'll tell you something else too, guys. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Rockdale County this year, because voting, I had a little bit down in the thing, but since I'm at it, is we're going to move our early voting. Our Rockdale voting office over to West Avenue, to where the alternative school was. You've got traffic lights, congestion, smaller parking lot than Parker Road. We're not going to have the early voting turnout that we once had, and I'm going to just be frank about it. That's not going to hurt Republican voters. It's going to hurt Democrat voters in this county, and it's a Democrat county. So, as the Republican chair, not really hurt my feelings that much, to be honest with you, just to be frank about it. So we'll just see what happens about that, when it all comes down to it at the end of the day. But the Democrats, when you end up having a low voter turnout and things might not go your way in the near future because you lose a lot of voters, you got nobody to thank but the Rockdale County Board of Commission, who gave away 1,400 Parker Road for no good reason. And, and they'll try to say they didn't give it away, that it's beneficial Restoration Storehouse. I know somebody this week who's asked for open records requests because Restoration Storehouse was supposed to provide detailed accounting information as to what value they bring the county. And as of yet, we have not seen one of these evaluations as to what value that they have brought the county over the last 4 years. And it would be subjective anyway, not a true way to measure it. But I can tell you just from observation, it's not been a successful operation as it was sold to the citizens of Rockdale County. And I've said this many a time. If this would have been in the private sector and a private sector corporation would have made that kind of deal, that board and that CEO would be gone right now, because you gave away your company's most valuable asset. That is the most valuable piece of property in Rockdale County. The county happens to own it, and they squandered that resource. Shame on you, Rockdale BOC. Shame on you. Let's move on. We're still going to stay in the political spectrum and talk about the 5 commissions. There was a listening town hall this past week. I was actually occupied, wanted to attend it, but I had previous obligations that I had to commit to. So, but I did speak to people that attended the online event. The 5 commissioner was brought up vaguely, not a whole lot of conversation, but I do believe firmly that this local delegation is going to deal with that 5 commission issue this session. I believe that Rockdale County will have 5 commissioners in some form after this legislative session, and it will be interesting to see what that looks like and how it comes about. But if you citizens, it's all of it is it's your responsibility. It's up to you to let these legislators know what you'd like to see. So email these legislators, look up their email addresses, give them a phone call, let them know what you want. because at the end of the day, it's your government, it's your county. Um, the Board of Commission does not have a say in that, even though they've got their voters, they have their opinion, but at the end of the day, it's the voters of Rockdale County who have the say of what they want to happen at the end of the day. And it is clear when you talk to residents of this county that they want a 5-person commission and they want districts. They want somebody that lives in their neighborhood. They want somebody who they know, who that they can go to. And one of the things that the Board of Commission says that this does is it divides the county because we're too small. No, it strengthens the county because it gives individuals a say. It gives individuals a word. So if it does anything, it strengthens the county. It doesn't divide the county because it gives these portions of the county who have felt neglected and not represented, they will be represented and their voices will be heard. So this 5 commission, it is very important to the citizens of Rockdale County. It's actually very important for the growth and for the integrity of Rockdale County, because it is my opinion, as I talk about a couple of other issues I'm going to, that it shows that this commission oversteps its authority and what it should be doing on behalf of the citizens all the time. One of the things I'm going to talk about right now is the water and sewer authority. I think the local delegation is going to take up the water and sewer authority issue this coming year too. I mean, I know some of the things they've suggested is that in talking to Senator Strickland, he feels that the Board of Commission no longer needs to have the right to appoint the members to the water and sewer authority. He feels that that should be bestowed upon the chief judge of the county. And I agree with that. The chief judge of the county would be fair about that, would not throw political bias into it. And as soon as someone would be eligible to be replaced, the judge would immediately replace them because it would be his responsibility. And judges take those things very serious. So I think that would be the right direction. And also Senator Strickland felt that even if the BOEC, Board of Commission, asked for the Water and Sewer Authority to be dissolved, he felt that the legislature, especially the local delegation, would have a problem dissolving a citizens oversight group. That the senator felt that it is very important that citizens have the right to oversee these kind of things. So if the county does asked to do that, I don't local delegation approving it. And furthermore, from what conversations I've had with Senator Strickland, I believe he is going to introduce some type of legislation to define and re-emphasize the authority that the Water and Sewer Authority has, what powers they have. Because if we don't, we will eventually have litigation between the county and the authority once the judge starts appointing the members and the Water and Sewer Authority becomes fully staffed once more. So when talking with Senator Strickland, he felt that a preemptive measure would be better off to actually change the charter somewhat of the Water and Sewer Authority to define the authority of the powers that the Water and Sewer Authority have. And I think that would be a great thing for the citizens of Rockdale County, especially since we've discovered this silting issue that we have at our reservoir, which could endanger and threaten our water supply. I've spoken to George Kelichek this week, and George and a couple of other community members, and actually a lot of community members, they have established a 501c3. They are going to begin raising money and lobbying the legislature to do some things to protect the Rockdale County water reservoir. And you just got to take your hat off and say thank you to guys like George Kelichek, who are willing to put their own time and money and efforts behind these kind of things to make sure that the citizens of Rockdale County have clean drinking water, and that our most valuable resource, water, is protected. Without water and without that resource, then just daily living and infrastructure and business, those things tend to decline, and we in Rockdale County would suffer the consequences of not having a reliable water source. So just thank you to George Kelichek, the eye of the taxpayer, and the organization that he and other members of the county are creating to protect Rockdale County's most valuable resource, and that's our water. Because without water, a community dwindles and withers away like a drought. So thank you, George. Thank you for all you do, and keep the efforts up. This past weekend, and I'm getting a little bit of sarcasm here. The Rockdale County Board of Commission sponsored a paper shredding event over at the Parker Road, and you're not going to believe this, but in order to be able to shred paper, you have to have a photo ID. You have to prove county residence and have a photo ID to shred paper. But we've got these same type of public officials who will say it's okay to cast ballots and vote and just say you are who you are and not have to present an ID. You have to have a photo ID to shred paper in Rockdale County. But government officials would say it would be okay to cast a ballot without that same ID. Just food for thought. Think about it, guys. To shred paper, you must prove you're a resident of Rockdale County. But those same individuals don't think you need to prove you're a resident to vote in Rockdale County. Just think about that. Food for thought. Think about it. Guys, also, this coming December, we will have our first political candidate on the show promoting themselves, running for commission. Now, at this point, I know Ms. Walker thinks she's going to be running against Doreen Williams, but I think that's subject to interpretation, because if the local delegation is successful and they do pass the 5 commission legislation this year, then we're not certain how that looks like, or if Miss Walker would actually be running against Commissioner Williams. But at this point, she is preparing a battle against Commissioner Doreen Williams. She has sent me information that she has been building to identify who exactly Doreen Williams really is. Some of that information has been on social media and it's been emailed to people. I find it very interesting information. I can't wait to have Efat Walker on this show to discuss her candidacy and specifically why she would be a better commissioner than Dr. Doreen Williams. That's going to be a very interesting show. That show, I will also be introducing my new guest host, political analyst, Ellen Deal. So December 5th will be the first candidate at this point that I know that we have coming on the show. That will be Efat Walker, running for county commissioner here in Rockdale County. And my new guest host for political events, political analyst Ellen Deal, will be her first show with This Week from Rockdale. I know you guys will enjoy Ellen when she comes on. I've known Ellen for a few years now in the political arena. She is a very competent, very skilled tactician. I enjoy listening to her spin and her take on political issues, and I think this audience will also enjoy that. I see there are several people that had thanked George for everything that he does for Rockdale County and everything that, and that's not the sarcastic thank you for everything you from Rockdale County that we hear from the Board of Commission seat at times. So thank you for everything that you do for Rockdale County. And that's not a sincere thank you, especially when you get up there and say some of the things you say. It's a sarcastic thank you for everything you do for Rockdale County. So guys, I just man, I don't know what I think. Sometimes I do this nonsense and thinking, oh man, I'm not doing nothing but making people mad at me and whatever. But this is the thing. Did you see my shirt? If my dog can't go, I'm not going. Hey, it's all about dogs. Dogs are your best friend. Dogs love you. Politicians don't love you. Elected officials don't love you, guys. Your dog loves you. Just remember that. These guys make all these promises and they don't come through on anything. Um, so I've talked to a lot of different people in the last couple months about what they think Rockdale County should look like and how they feel that our elected officials, specifically our board of commission, is performing, and they're not happy with our board of commission whatsoever. Not happy with their performances, and just when we have these folks challenging them for these offices, and you people are actually feeling this way, then let that voice be heard at the ballot box. Go vote that. Go vote the same way you talk and the same way you feel. That's what you need to do. Also, I want to end the show tonight talking about something that I think is happening positive in this county and this community, and that is the effort to push for senior tax exemption for the Board of Education M&O. The Rockdale Voter Group, which I'm also a member of, started a petition a few weeks ago asking that citizens sign if they feel seniors 67 and older should be exempt from property tax. And it has been an overwhelming response that the citizens of Rockdale County think so. I just want to thank the citizens of Rockdale County for just sending in those petitions one after another. It's been 3-4 weeks and we still get those petitions in daily. We had a in-person signing at the fall festival last weekend. We got, I think, 61, 62 in-person signatures that day. So, people they feel strongly about this event, about this issue, and people feel that seniors do need a break because they are afraid that, seniors are our most vulnerable individuals in our community. Most of them are on fixed incomes, and we need to protect them, especially when it comes to these inflated property taxes. People say, well, they do get some sort of exemption assistance. Now that's accurate, but with the way property values have skyrocketed, the amount that they get exempt is washed. It doesn't matter. It's so low, it doesn't even impact taking anything off of their taxes. Uh, Dan corrected me. We got 66 signatures at that festival. So I mean that's great when we know we've accomplished this kind of thing. We've got that many signatures, guys. It is just great that when citizens actually get behind an effort and they want to see something change, and they know the way to enact that change is for them to take things into their own hands. That's why I encourage each of you now, reach out to your legislators, and let them know that you do support this. The Rockdale Voter Group will be sending these petitions into the legislature in January when they start, so that they know that there are a significant number of Rockdale County residents who support this effort. And it doesn't hurt for you to call and email these legislators. This was also mentioned in the virtual town hall this past week. And, and I think one of the representatives said that they were discussing it with the superintendent out of respect because with findings from the legislative council that the Board of Education has no authority in this, that this is a legislative matter, that he would ask that it be phased in so it wouldn't hit all at once. Not certain if I'm on board with that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the citizens want, because then again, it's what the citizens want. I don't think the citizens wanted somebody who's leading a failing school system to get a big fat bonus. I don't think the citizens of Rockdale County wanted someone who's leading a failing school system to get a big fat raise. I don't think the citizens of Rockdale County want someone that's currently leading a failing school system to keep their job. But he has, and he has. He's keeping his job. He's got a big fat bonus and he got a big fat raise. So, sometimes, dude, you don't get everything you want. So the citizens of Rockdale County can speak loud and clear. They can let the legislature know what they want. If the legislature doesn't come across, then these same legislators are going to face ballot opposition. If the people who work for you don't do what you ask them to do, then don't keep voting for them. Don't send their behinds back to Atlanta. Send it back to their house. Because you can send somebody else up there who will do what you ask them to do. Mary Boswell said she brought it up at her annual HOA meeting Saturday. So hopefully more people will sign it. Mary, we're getting tons of signatures. So, but anywhere you guys can put this out, word of mouth, social media, just share it with everybody you can. Let them know to go to the rockdalevoter.com and they'll be able to sign that petition online. Again, that's the rockdalevoter.com and they'll be able to sign that petition online. It's very important and very valuable to the citizens of Rockdale County, because when citizens speak out and they stand up for themselves, people listen. Those in office do listen, and especially if they know there might be a chance that they're not going to win. So that, and say in the they did talk about, okay, Catherine Lynn said in the legislative listening session, they did talk about doing it gradually so people age in to the full exemption. And that's what we want. Do it percent so that people do age in. But I do think people that are older right now, they may need to get the exemption. People that are younger get it, and then people that are older, we do need to set an age that those folks get the exemption now. That's the way I feel. Mary, we had the printed ballots at the fall festival, and we may set up another couple events between now and the first of the year. I think that's a good idea. I think that I'll talk with some folks with the Rockdale Voter Group and see if they don't want to set up a couple of in-person petition signings between now and the first of the year. And I think that's a great idea, and we'll look at doing that. So thanks for the suggestion, and I will talk with the members of that group and see if they can't do that. And us at the Republican Party will definitely help facilitate that with them. Guys, I just want to thank you guys for listening to the show, being a great audience, and also taking these issues to the forefront. Because without you being a great audience and without you talking about these issues after the fact, then what would we have? We would just be on here talking with no action. Action must follow conversation, and that's what I see happening with the citizens of Rockdale County. We're having conversation, but they're also following up with action, and I just appreciate that. And Charlotte, what about December the 5th? December the 5th will be the EFAT Walker show, but it's something else going on December the 5th that I don't know, that we could have a signing. Let me know. Send me a message. Let me know, and we'll put it out there. But guys, I've done my 30 minutes for the evening. I thank each and every one of you for joining me tonight, and I think that as we move forward, we can make a difference in Rockdale County. We just need to let our voices be heard. Thank you very much, and I will see you next week on This Week from Rockdale. Thank you very much.